Yes, I did.
Conversations with Marc and Devi, the mediums. Marc Stuart, the Scottish medium. Devi Wolf, the smallest medium. Conversations on topical subjects. On subjects other mediums would not dare talk about, but we do. The Marc Stuart Medium Network, demonstrating, discussing, and training in Scottish-style mediumship.
Hello,
Hi, everybody.
Now, just so you understand, it's not my fault. Devi has put a black devil-like halo around herself.
I have a black aura, or it's my shadow following me.
I'm responsible for the logo. If I'm responsible for the background, I'm not responsible for the witchcraft style that she's doing it with. So
I can't help that. It exudes off of me. So
yeah. So tonight is the first of 3 months where we're going to talk about AI and mediumship.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm going to love it. We're going to be talking about everything you can think of, opportunities, dangers, abuse. There are so many different areas that this covers. Go to our website, click on network, go 2 levels down, and you'll, in fact, hold on, Devi, let me show them.
Show them. Yeah, I was saying that nobody will ever understand that.
Right. I've been doing a little bit of rework on the website, made it a lot more simpler. Because we're consolidating everything on the network or Patreon, if you click here, it will take you to the Patreon site. If you click here, you can book events that we're doing. And if you click here, which is the bit I was talking about, comes up with a PDF document, essentially all the events that we're doing over the next 3 months. So that's where to find it.
So exciting.
So, I know, it's so exciting, isn't it? And everybody's rushing to the website. I can just see it now.
And they're putting every event in their calendar right this very moment.
Okay, folks, let's get on to the news then, will we? Right. So, well, we've already given you the first bit of news, the redesign of the website. Patreon has continued. We've been talking about this for about a month. So just to summarize, all our training is now through Patreon. All our different levels are now through Patreon. Whether you want reading a month, or whether you want to join our open circles, or whether you want to join the development circles, or whether you want to use our business services, there are 6 different levels on Patreon. It sounds confusing. It's actually quite simple. Just go and have a look and choose what you need. This is the first event that we're talking. I've already covered this, but this is the first of multiple events for the next 3 months where we're talking about AI and mediumship. What else? I am getting very close to having everything finalized for moving house. Moving to a very nice, probably over the Christmas holidays, because that's going to be the only spare time that we've got. I will be moving over Christmas. Plans for next year for travel will be going up on my website probably in the next week or 2. A lot of it is planned to be in areas, like I'll put a bit up for Devi planning to be in Scotland, but that could change by 12 months either way, because
it could depending on a lot of things, but yeah,
I'm planning on what the Wales trip is confirmed. I'm still trying to tie down 2 churches in Ireland, so that's could be any time. Planning 3 trips to America, and I will be going to China to do some work there around about January, February, dates to be confirmed. That's about it. Unless you've got any other bits of news, Devi?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, in that case, what on earth are we talking? Oh, yes. Let me show you this. Devi and I, I'm sorry, Ying and I, God, I'm getting Devi mixed up with Ying and I went to King Mary Close, and my wife is quite sneaky. She's almost as good with AI video generation as I am. So let me show you what she threw at me tonight. So this guy over here is a statue of a real doctor who was alive during the plague years, and the beak mask that he's wearing. They get that because that was to protect them from ravens, which the ravens are all AI, obviously, and they're angelic and carry nasty spirits. So that's a video that she's done for me that we're going to use for advertising the podiatry clinics. Marc Stuart, the practice manager and the Scottish medium, knows how to keep his podiatry and mediumship work separate. And here's a video. So that's the logo that's going to be going there.
That's amusing.
Anyway, so what are we talking about tonight? Well, we're starting off with the big topic, AI. I believe very strongly that AI over the next 18 to 36 months, whether we like it or not, is going to have huge impacts on jobs.
Oh, yes, now, absolutely.
It's not all going to be negative. A lot of it is going to be positive, but even the positive is going to destroy jobs. I mean, for example, Devi and I were having a debate a few days ago about how how the actors and entertainment industry in America are all unionized. Okay, that's fine. But I'm not a professional video generator. I'm not a professional video editor. But here's my opening video, which I did earlier this evening, and it took me 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes to produce this video.
What makes the world go round is that's not gonna replace movies and television and
Devi, it's not. But I have virtually no talent as a director. I mean, I'm a complete amateur, a complete hobbyist. I can put videos like that together in 5 minutes. Take somebody that's got some reasonable skill. The software is going like that. I mean, that would have been impossible 3 months ago.
Right.
Okay, it would have been possible 3 months ago, but you would
6
have
months ago.
Yeah, 6 months ago it was impossible. 3 months ago it was possible, but even in the 3 months, there are so many updates. I mean, you blink for a week, you put your head in the sand for a week, you raise it up, and 3 new AI apps come flying at you. I was listening to a podcast about a professional project manager. I mean, we're talking big multi-$100 million style company that he runs. And they were talking about AI projects. And he says, I've got 2 clients that came to me with 2 different approaches, but they both made the same mistake. And of course, the interviewer says, oh, what was the mistake? He said they were thinking in terms of 24 months because that's normally for a computer project. That's how long you
That's usually how long it takes. And now you can do it in 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
I said to them, you're thinking too long. I mean, think 24 months because you'll have to clean your data and you'll have to do But during those 24 months, you've got to be you've got to be completely flexible. And you might after 3 months have to turn around and say, right, we're not using that bit of software. We're using this bit of software instead, which means doing things. It means everything you've done for the 3 months just gets thrown out the window.
Right. You got to start over again.
That's the speed that AI is moving at, whether you like it or not. Now, how does AI affect jobs? Right. Well, number one, straightforward job replacement. Go back to what we were talking about with Devi and I about the entertainment. There's opportunities there because Devi, as a professional actress, can license her face, can, get out there and say, right, you can buy my likeness to put into your AI symmetry, but you have to pay me a royalty for it.
I don't know any real actor who would do that.
Okay, but
unless they're starving, yeah.
Okay, but most actors are starving. Very few actors make a serious.
Well, no, we have other jobs.
Okay, most actors have to do other jobs to stop themselves starving.
Yes, most actors do not make a living wage.
Right. It's the same thing. So they're all going to go, oh, here's a quick way to make a few hundred bucks more. I've got a nice face, or I've got a scar, my hairstyle, whatever. Hello, Mr. Paramount. Here's my picture, or whatever industry you set up to license yourself. So I come along as an amateur film producer. Oh, I'm looking for a bald woman like Devi. Oh, here's a bald woman and wherever. Click. Here's Devi number 2. Get a voice. Click. And before you know it, I've got an AI Devi. And it's got
you've got a fake, is what you've got.
I agree.
Which is never as good as the real thing. Because AI cannot duplicate emotion. And acting is emotion.
No, Debbie, they can duplicate emotion.
They can duplicate they cannot feel it. Therefore, they can pretend to
They
express
don't have
it.
to feel it. An actor doesn't feel emotion.
Bullshit.
Okay, let me rephrase that. A method actor does not feel emotion.
Bullshit. Don't talk to me about acting, then you know nothing about it.
So you're telling me that David Prowse, whilst playing Darth Vader, actually feels "I'm going to kill you," or the actor playing
feels
Hitler,
anger? Yes, they should to have a good performance. They should actually feel the emotion.
And I mean, how many actors have played Hitler over the years, the decades?
And that some of them get really messed up in the head.
Okay, but the good ones don't, because they know how to separate it.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah.
I know what I'm talking about here, because as a medium, I am an entertainer. Now, I'm not an actor, so let's just keep that. I'm not saying I can act, but as a medium, I feel the emotions that the spirits give me,
exactly.
And I have had to train myself to separate them. I feel the emotion for 2 microseconds, so I know what
exactly.
it is.
No. I'm not suggesting that actors. I don't support the method acting at all, because it does that to people. They get so far into a character that they cannot come out of it. So I don't support that. But you still need to feel the emotion.
We're getting sidetracked.
Okay.
I have been looking at software for answering the phones in the clinic. Now, it's too expensive, but costs are dropping like that as power is going like that. So I'm thinking in terms of 6 months, I'll be able to have an AI system answering the phone. Now, what I'm waiting for, apart from the cost, is for the emotion recognition and the tone that the AI system then uses to match the recipient. So somebody phones up who, I mean, we get a lot of elderly people phoning up the clinic. We're a podiatrist clinic, in case you wonder what I'm talking about. So we get a lot of elderly patients phoning up they suddenly discover they can't cut their own nails. And they're mega embarrassed because they haven't cut their nail. We had one woman come in 6 months ago who hadn't cut her nails for 3 years. Her nails were, I'm not joking, her nails were that long, curved like that. And she couldn't even get her shoes on properly. She had to come in slippers. I mean, that's an extreme example. But her embarrassment level when she phoned in, I didn't know what she was embarrassed about. It wasn't until the podiatrist afterwards came and showed me a photo that she had taken. And don't worry, we've got data protection, so we're allowed to share the photos internally for training and all the rest of it. And when I looked at the nails in the picture, I just about fainted, because I'm quite squeamish. Now, when that woman phones up, I want the phone AI to recognize the embarrassment as a tone, and then to adjust how it'll be a she, to adjust how she speaks to the patient, so that the patient feels smoothed and relaxed.
Good luck with that, because I don't know a single elderly person, or even very few my age or above, right? Our age, that prefer to speak to an AI rather than a live human being.
They won't know. It will be so good. No, they won't. They will not know. The technology is here now. Okay, I agree with you if you're going to have a long, complex conversation. But I am now having conversations with computer systems or voices on the phone, and I'm actually saying to the voice, "Are you an AI?" And it replies. It says, "Yes, I am."
Yeah.
Some companies, the system will say it's an AI up front, but the technology has got to point. Go back to the podcast. And
every time I've gotten a call from an AI, I can tell.
No. This is you phoning the system. This is you phoning the bank.
Even if I've called in somewhere and I get the AI, it pisses me off. I'm like, human representative.
Okay, we're getting sidetracked. You can see that Debbie and I have different opinions about what we're talking about.
Obviously, yes.
People are going to lose jobs.
Yeah.
Just get used to it. Call centers, market research, sales. Now, there will actually be more human interaction because of AI, because the system will be more responsive. It will handle more calls. It will be open 24 hours a day. But people like Devi will say, I want a human, but by the time the AI has spoken to you, and it's asked you all the relevant questions, you'll have been through security, so you won't have to go through that with the human. You'll have screamed at it, I'm phoning about my car engine, blah, blah,
I
blah,
don't mind.
blah,
I don't
blah.
mind going through the security stuff up front.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother me. It's just when I
So-
have a problem and I try to explain to the AI and they don't understand and they keep putting me to the wrong queue, and it just, I get upset.
Yeah,
Because
I
I don't
agree.
call for a simple request. I just figure it out on my own.
That annoys me as well. But the point is, it's improving. The systems are getting better, and it depends on the programming. And the more that
Right.
we use it, the better that they get. So the consequence is, whereas maybe 4 years ago, a computer support or whatever, a company support department might have had 100 people if they were big enough. Now they'll have 20.
Right.
Those 20 people will be more highly skilled, and the other 80 people will either be sweeping the floor or showing the front door. That's
Well,
just a
yeah.
fact
I
of
mean,
it.
there's certain industries like healthcare and some more things like attorneys and things like that will definitely still be human jobs.
No, I have
Yes.
a business plan. I have a business plan written for the clinic, getting ready to have the first clinic without a human podiatrist in approximately 6.5 years.
Well,
That
good
is
luck with that, because again, elderly people don't generally like to deal with that.
Yeah, but most of the current elderly people will be dead. The new elderly people, which will be you and me by that point.
And it's going to be, no way, I need a human. No machine is cutting my toenails.
People used to say that about microsurgery. They had to have the surgeon in the room. Now you've got surgeons using, okay, it's not AI.
It's still
but
remote. Yeah, it's still remote.
Yeah,
Not,
now you've got
not
remote. I remember when I first heard about remote surgery, I was going, oh my God, I've not had any remote surgery, so I'm not talking from experience. But 15, 20 years ago, when they started talking about it, I would have gone, oh my God, I've had an absolute nightmare. Now it's just, okay, if it has to be done, it has to be done.
That never bothered me.
Yeah.
Because there was a human controlling it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let me show you.
Kind of like a video game.
Okay, talking about videos, let me show you another video. Now, can anybody notice after 10 seconds what's wrong with this car? Anybody want to shout out?
Well, yeah,
Devi?
there's nobody driving it.
Yeah. The driver is sitting in the passenger seat and he's asleep. Now, notice that we're talking about a Chinese car, and if you watch the road signs, this isn't China. China is approximately, I read an article in The Economist last week, which we did a blog entry, so go and have a look at our blog page. It's not, we didn't redo the article, but we took elements of the article and talked about mediumship and all the rest of it. China has developed a scale of what they call L1 to L5. L1 is your traditional car with a cruise control where you sit with your hands on the wheel and it does the speed. L2 is where Devi, and we did compared notes earlier, that's where our cars currently are. Well, actually, no, Devi's at L1.
I'm an L1.
I'm an L2, where I put the car in the lane and I can take my hands off the wheel. It monitors me, and if the road gets too busy, it'll beep at me and I have to put my hands back on the wheel. But it will steer, it will keep me in the center of the road. It'll adjust the speed based on the cars behind me, the cars in front of me. It's got a sort of sensor system around the car. So if somebody comes up in my blind spot, it beeps at me and I can, all the rest of it.
Mine does that too. Yeah.
L3 is where you put in Google Maps or whatever navigation system and it'll change lanes. You still have to be there. You still have to be in control of it. You still have to have your hands on the wheel. L4 is where the car is capable of driving itself, but you're legally not allowed to be out of the driver's seat. So that if there's an emergency, it'll beep, hands on wheel, and you're back in control. The car that we just looked at in that video was L5. Now that basically means that the car is considered to be a better driver than you, and you don't need to be sitting in the passenger seat. So think of it. That's like your Uber taxis that they're talking about. Now,
Yeah.
China currently has, I think it was 30,000 cars on those grades. No, sorry, they're producing 30,000 cars a year on those grades.
Okay.
And they're legally allowed to drive them on the roads. That's L1 through to L5. And it was going through microeconomics as to the rules and regulations that China had set up. And they are about 8 times ahead in terms of number of cars of America. I mean, basically, what they did was they deregulated the testing to the local level, and they allowed local councils. Now, remember, a local council here is talking about millions of people.
Yeah.
Local councils were allowed to do their own experiments, and if it worked, they would very quickly escalate it into the national standard. And if it didn't work, likewise, they'd get rid of it.
Right.
Now, can you imagine the American or the British or the European local governments being given that kind of power and authority?
Oh, no way.
Not in a month of Sundays. But essentially, that's what China has done, and they're now getting the benefits.
Yes.
Now, my article kind of took it a wee bit further from that. And what happens when the car, like the Johnny Cab from the science fiction movie, and when the Johnny car starts having its own personality, does it have a soul? Is it a human being? Obviously, no, it's not. But it was a point for the article.
Yeah.
But that's what's coming. And that's just one item. Okay, it's a big item. How many drivers
but travel is a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It doesn't stop the cars, taxis, lorries, planes, ships,
trains, boats. Yeah.
Yeah. Every form of transport will follow this. You'll still have drivers, you'll still have ship captains, but they will be the reserve. And eventually you won't even need them, or you won't even want them. I mean, eventually there'll be children born maybe now that by the time they become 20 or 30, somebody says to them, well, look, there's a car and it's got a man driving it. And they'll go, what?
That'll be me. I refuse to give up. I'll take that. You can take that steering wheel out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah. So there's one industry. So the other thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be a cross between humans and computers. Now, this is just a joke. I'm not planning I don't think for 1 second that we're going to download our minds into computers. This is about employment, but just watch this video. Which one is which? The computer is sitting at the keyboard doing the typing, and the human face is on the computer screen. Now, that could be Zoom. I mean, it's a bad animation, but I mean, that could be me on Zoom talking to somebody in the office that turns out to be a computer, or it could be me working from home and all the work in the office is done by computers. The point I'm getting to is that there will be jobs, but the jobs will be the people that will have jobs in the future are going to be people that know how to use AI. People that can
not necessarily. All the healthcare, the service people, the plumbers, the electricians, the service people, the beauticians, those people are not going to be replaced by AI.
The man, I can't remember his name, but the man that actually invented the term AI. Now we're going way back.
Way back,
way back. I saw him on an interview. Now he's British. I saw him in an interview with Steve. I think a guy's called Stephen Green. Now you'll never heard of him. He's really big in London, social media, marketing. He's worth about 100 million. He does a podcast where he interviews people like this man, PhDs, and he asks them questions like, he interviewed this man. I mean, the man's probably approaching 70 now. And he asked him a direct question. He said, do you have children? And he said, yes. Do you have grandchildren? He said, yes. He said, what jobs would you get them to do? And he came back with the exact answer that Devi just gave. He said, in the short term, I would tell them all to be plumbers, because every other, now this is him saying it, every other job will be gone. If it's office based, if it's computer based, it will be gone in 5 years. And the manual plumbing jobs will be gone 5 years after that, because they are building robots. What happens when the robot is linked up to the data center?
Construction?
Yes, all of it.
They've got to have
There's-
human supervisors for inspections and things.
But what happens when the AI system is more intelligent than human? And that is coming. That's coming within
Then
5
they
years.
take over and we're all dead. So yeah, that happens too. I read I, Robot as a small child, and I've never forgotten it.
Let's not go into the science fiction element of we're all going to die and we're whatever. There are many people in AI that actually believe that's going to happen, but I don't. I believe that we've always managed to survive. We managed to survive the Cold War. We managed to survive not blowing each other up with nuclear bombs, at least so far.
Yes, those of us not involved with AI will live forever.
Yeah, in our loincloths in the countryside in caves.
I already live in the countryside. Cave wouldn't be much different. So yeah, that's good. That's fine.
Okay, so that's part one of. I mean, we're running out of time, but that's part one of what I wanted to talk about tonight.
Right.
What do you do in the coming future? You need to do three things. You need to learn AI, whether you like it or not. To preserve your current job, your current career, you have to learn AI, or you end up in the scrap heap. Number two, you need to get a secondary income, because even if you learn AI is getting more intelligent, is getting better, and best case scenario, all you're doing is giving yourself time and you're teaching the system itself to replace you. The minute your boss sees that your computer on your desk or the software on your computer can do your job better than you can, you're gone. Full stop.
Yeah.
So it might take 20, it might take 5 years, it might take 2 years, it might take 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but at some point, your system will replace you. So in anticipation of that day, you need to learn a new skill. Now, how many people are willing to go and train as plumbers? How many people are willing to
I know a
go
lot of
train-
people who are becoming plumbers and electricians. A lot of people out of high school now are not going to college. They're going into the trades.
I'm not talking about people coming out of school. I'm talking about you and me in our 40s, 50s, 60s.
I'm too old to get another job, so nobody's going to hire me at this age. So yeah.
No, you're not. You trained 2 years ago from me to become a medium.
Well, 3 years ago. But yeah, of course I did.
2 years ago.
But learning a new skill is not difficult.
Yeah, but
I'm also learning Italian. I'm not sure how that's going to help my prospects. But
not very much, because my new glasses speak Italian.
Oh, well, that's nice.
They will when I get them. But the point, I mean, there's another example. We're all going to be wearing glasses or AI devices on our wrists that will interact with sound. They will interact with vision. We as individuals, those of us that spend the money on smart glasses, will have an advantage over people that don't. Fact. So again, you have to adapt and you have to keep up to date.
Do I care? It's not, life is not a competition.
No, but for somebody in their 20s or 30s in a job industry where jobs are disappearing.
Oh, yes, absolutely learn AI. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not thinking of the younger generation.
Yeah, I mean, we're both sitting here at borderline retirement, either retired or, well, I'll never retire. But
well, I'm not really retired, but I'm semi-retired. Yeah.
Yeah, but put all that aside, we're not the typical people we're talking about. But we are the typical people we're talking about because there are many, many people out there that need to find a second income. Yes. And an easy way, well, it's not easy, it's hard, but one option that people could have is to get into the $22.5 billion a year industry that is the mediumship business worldwide. So
mediumship and readings. And readings.
There's the advert. Come and train as a medium with us.
Do it, do it, do it.
But then again, what happens when everybody's jobless? So you have to have redistribution of wealth. You need to have a universal basic income.
Well, we do. Yes, we absolutely do. If you can get the politicians in office in America to put that through, I'd be very happy.
Well, when they've got 240 million unemployed people banging on the door saying, do something. I mean,
we'll see. We had almost 150 million of us supporting the No Kings protest and nothing happened.
Yeah. But put politics aside. I mean, I'm not saying put politics aside, put Democrat and Republican aside for the minute. there is a very good example of when America did have a universal basic income, although you didn't call it universal basic income.
Yes.
COVID.
Yes.
Because all the people overnight lost their jobs. Not everybody.
Right. And so we got bonus money. Yep.
Well, you got money. Now, the big difference this time is it's not like COVID where there's no wealth, no income. There will be. Companies are going to make enormous profits by increasing demand, by making things, for example, making things more personal for you, making things more desirable. Like, for example, a Facebook with their smart glasses, their Meta glasses. That's just one example. Or at the other end of the scale, by making everybody unemployed and saving costs. So taxation is going to, whether you like it or not, Mr. Owner of Google, taxation will go up because the money has to then be spent by giving checks to people staying at home and training to be mediums, so that they've got money to spend on the products and services that you need to sell to make a profit. I mean, and that's boiling it down very, very simplistically, but that's the way the world is going to have to operate. It's Star Trek. You know, on Star Trek, people only work because they want to work, because it's for the greater good, to make them self-improvement, join Starfleet, go explore the galaxy.
Right.
I mean, how many times have you watched a Star Trek episode and Captain Picard's been sitting there listening to some ensign playing on his flute in some concert, and they're all going, right, that's a silly little example of what the world is going to be like. You're all going to be studying. You're all going to be doing self-improvement.
Well, I'll be doing art, so I'm not worried about y'all.
No, you're not. You're the chief executive officer of Marc Stuart Medium Trading, so you're going to be working.
Oh, I am, but I'll be doing art in my spare time.
Okay, folks, that's us at the end of the half hour. If you've watched us live, thank you very much. If you're watching this on video, come back and see us next week when we're live again.
Bye. Have a great week.
I agree with that, Kimberly.
Kimberly says we need self-driving cars. Yes.
Yeah. Not sure what nope was for.
She says nope too. Yeah, nope to self-driving cars. I'm with you, Kimberly.
My wife and I are looking for new cars at the minute, and if we can get self-driving, we're going for self-driving. Anyway, wasting too much time again. Been a pleasure, everybody. Good night.
Bye.